Hey guys, imagine this scenario: you're on a first date. Everything seems to be going okay until, boom. Silence. That long, uncomfortable pause stretches between you and your date, and suddenly, the pressure is on. Sound familiar? Awkward silences can feel like they last an eternity, especially on a first date. But guess what? You're not alone. Everyone's been there at least once. The good news is, you don't have to let these moments ruin your chances of connecting. In today's video, I'll walk you through 5 proven strategies to handle awkward silences and keep the conversation flowing smoothly. But before we get started, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on life-changing tips like these. Let's dive in. 1. Remove the pressure to be perfect. I don't want to mess this up. That thought is probably playing in your head during the date, right? When you're trying too hard to impress, you can end up overthinking. Suddenly, you've got a million filters running through your brain. Don't say anything stupid. Make sure you sound funny. Don't talk too much about yourself. Before you know it, you're second-guessing every word, and that's when silence creeps in. The solution? Drop the filters, not all of them, of course. You don't want to be rude or offensive, but allow yourself to speak naturally. Share your thoughts, even if they aren't perfectly polished. Here's an example. If your date says they love traveling, and you're not much of a traveler, instead of forcing a grand story, you could say, "Honestly, I haven't traveled much, but I'd love to hear about your favorite trip. Where's the most amazing place you've been?" This keeps the conversation authentic and interesting, without adding unnecessary pressure. 2. Share and engage. Avoid the interview trap. Think back to your last awkward conversation. Did it feel more like a game of 20 questions than an actual exchange? Let me set the scene. You: "So, what do you do for work?" Them: "I'm a graphic designer." You: "Oh cool, how long have you been doing that?" Them: "A few years." And crickets. The problem here is that one-sided questions can make the conversation feel like an interrogation. To avoid this, balance asking questions with sharing your own experiences. Here's how to do it. You: "What do you do for work?" Them: "I'm a graphic designer." You: "That's awesome. I'm always impressed by people with creative skills. I can barely draw a stick figure. What's your favorite project you've worked on?" This approach keeps the conversation flowing and shows genuine interest. Plus, by opening up a little about yourself, you create a sense of connection. 3. Use open-ended questions. Let's be real, yes or no questions are conversation killers. Why? Because they leave no room for expansion. Example. You: "Do you like movies?" Them: "Yeah." You: "Cool, now compare that to." You: "What's the last movie you watched that really stuck with you?" Them: "Oh, definitely Inception. The plot twists were wild. Have you seen it? See the difference?" Open-ended questions encourage detailed responses and create natural jumping-off points for deeper discussions. Here are a few open-ended question ideas perfect for a first date. What's a hobby you've been really into lately? If you could visit any place in the world, where would it be and why? What's something you've always wanted to try but haven't yet? Pro tip: avoid overly personal or controversial topics on the first date. Keep it light and fun. 4. Be present and actively listen. Picture this. Your date is telling a story, but instead of listening, your mind is racing. You're worrying about whether you look good, what to say next, or even how late it's getting. By the time they finish speaking, you've completely missed the point, and now the silence feels extra awkward. The fix? Be present. When you actively listen, you'll pick up on subtle cues that can keep the conversation alive. For instance, if they mention a funny childhood memory, you can ask, "That's hilarious. Were you always that mischievous as a kid?" Here's a simple tip to stay engaged. Maintain eye contact to show you're focused. Avoid distractions, like constantly checking your phone. Respond thoughtfully to what they say, even if it's just with a smile or a nod. Being present not only keeps the conversation going but also makes your date feel valued and heard, a win-win. 5. Use nonverbal communication to break the ice. Words aren't the only way to communicate. Sometimes, your body language can say more than your mouth ever could. Here's how to use nonverbal cues to your advantage. 1. Smile. A genuine smile instantly puts both you and your date at ease. 2. Open posture. Face your date directly and avoid crossing your arms, which can seem closed off. 3. Lean forward. This subtle movement shows interest and attentiveness. 4. Eye contact. Don't stare, but holding eye contact for a few seconds at a time builds connection. 5. Occasional gestures. Nodding while they speak or laughing at the right moments keeps the interaction lively. A little physical interaction, like a light touch on the arm when you're laughing, can also break the ice. Just make sure it's appropriate and consensual. How to recover if silence does happen. Even with all these tips, moments of silence are inevitable. The key is to embrace them, not fear them. Here's how. Acknowledge the silence. If the pause feels awkward, you can laugh it off. Wow, we've got a dramatic pause going on. Humor diffuses tension. Switch topics. Silence might mean the current topic has run its course. Transition to something new with, "So, I've been meaning to ask." Ask playful questions. Fun hypotheticals like, "If you could have dinner with any celebrity, who would it be?" can reignite the conversation. Remember, awkward silences aren't the end of the world. They're just a natural part of getting to know someone. Bonus tip. Prepare conversation starters. Coming prepared doesn't mean scripting the entire date. Instead, have a few light, interesting topics in mind that you can pull out if needed. Here are a few ideas: a recent movie, book, or trending show. A funny story from your week. An interesting fact or news item you came across. This preparation ensures you always have something to fall back on, keeping you confident and composed. Awkward silences don't have to be deal breakers on a first date. With a little preparation, some open-ended questions, and a lot of active listening, you can turn even the quietest moments into opportunities to connect. So, the next time you feel a pause creeping in, just breathe, smile, and remember these 5 tips. 1. Remove unnecessary pressure. 2. Share your thoughts while engaging your date. 3. Ask open-ended questions to keep the conversation alive. 4. Stay present and actively listen. 5. Use body language to show interest and build comfort. Mastering these techniques will not only save your first date but might just make it unforgettable. And hey, if this advice helped you, be sure to share this video with a friend who needs it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more content that helps you level up your life. After all, we've all been there, and everyone deserves a shot at a great first date.